Good morning and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I'm very sorry that I had to change the lesson this week. I just had some family support things I needed to do on Tuesday, so I was not able to do the lesson. But thank you very much for all those who have changed and come on Thursday. So hello and welcome. It's cold and wet outside, so I hope you're warm and dry inside. I can see that some of you have been put in where you're living. So well done for not putting details, just London and UK is brilliant. So it's great to see you all again. And I hope that while you've been waiting, you have had a chance to look at our brain teaser and have a think about what we're being asked there. So I can recognize lots of names. I think you've all been here before. I think you've all joined previous lessons. Anybody new, or are you all old friends? I think there's quite a few names I recognize there. So I think there's quite a few old friends. I just don't want to make sure I've missed out anybody new who's slipped in that I haven't had a chance to say hello and welcome to. So welcome old friends and welcome anybody who's new as well. So we're going to continue our fractions quest to make sure that we're really confident so when we go back to school, we are acing these fractions and our teacher's going to go, wow, you really come on with those fractions and I'm going to be really, really proud of you, just like I am. So okay, so we've got some answers. Okay, people are saying, Dora, you are not correct. So Dora is saying, I know that 1/3 is larger than a half because 3 is larger than 2. Discuss. 3 is larger than 2. Now remember, we talk about cake. We talk about cake. Look at these cakes. Okay, look at these cakes. One is divided into thirds, one is divided into sixths, and one is divided into ninths. Now, 9 is the bigger number, but does it work like that when we are thinking about fractions? Because fractions are not about the whole thing, are they? 9 cakes would be more than 3 cakes. Absolutely correct. But when we are thinking about breaking whole things up into equal pieces, the more equal pieces, the more fractions we break up that whole thing into, the smaller the portions become. So a cake shared into 3 equal pieces, into thirds, is going to give you more per person than a cake shared between 6 people, 6 equal pieces, or sixths, than a cake shared between 9 equal pieces, ninths. A third is bigger than a sixth, which is bigger than a ninth. Okay, so sometimes we can get a little bit confused and we can think that if the denominator is bigger, then that's a bigger fraction. But that's not the case when we're breaking whole things into fractions. The more pieces, the more equal pieces we break it into, the smaller those pieces will be. So a ninth is smaller than a sixth, which is smaller than a third. So if we are looking at the problem that Dora is discussing, she is saying that a third is bigger than a half because 3 is bigger than 2. Well, 3 cakes are more than 2 cakes, yes. But when we're thinking about one cake, one whole, there's a half. Okay. But if we were going to break that into thirds, there's 1/3, there's 2/3, there's 3/3. We can see that a thirds are smaller than halves. Thirds are smaller than halves. Which way do I need to turn you? Just that way a little bit, okay? Thirds are smaller than halves. So if you're going to divide something between 3, you're going to get less than if you're going to divide something between 2. If you had a bag of sweets, you and one friend would get more than if you had a bag of sweets and you had 2 friends with you, because there are more people to share out. Okay, so let's make sure we're not making the mistake that the bigger the denominator, we think, oh, that's a bigger fraction. It's not. It's a smaller fraction. It does not work the same way as if we're thinking about the whole thing. Okay, so Dora, I am afraid, my dear, you're a little bit confused, so you just need to come to our classes to get more confident, and then you'll be saying, oh, half's a bigger fraction than a third, obviously, because that's just between 2, and a third is between 3. Okay, good job. You knew this. So let's have a little look at the next one. Some people have gone on and said, oh, actually, there are 7 different options. Well, let's just have a little look together at 1 or 2 of them. So some questions that you are asked, you know, like in life, there is more than one solution. Okay, so it's not always only one answer. So let's have a look at this one. Complete the missing denominator. Find how many different options can you find? So we've got a half here. Just check that's on screen. It is. And we're saying, what is a half bigger than? What is a half bigger than? But it's not endless because the fraction you give has got to be bigger than 1/10. So let's have a look what the options are. So we could have a third. Yeah, we could have a third in there. We could have 1/3. Let's have a little, put this a bit of a different way so that we can fit more fractions in. So we've got a half on this side. Am I on screen with that? Yes, I am. And we're saying it's got to be smaller than a half, but it's got to be bigger than 1/10. Bigger than 1/10. I just can't quite fit that 10th in. Oops, we've lost video. Why have we lost video? Not lost video for you, but we've lost video for me. But you're still there. No, I've frozen. Let's just try that again. You back in. Let's try and reconnect. Shame. We were doing so well. Are we back? Are we back? Are we back? Yay, we are back. Sorry, a little bit of a technical hitch there. I'm here. Hello. Okay, so let's have a little look. We're just going to move that so we've got that 10th. So thank you for being patient. So we need to think of some options to go in here that are smaller than a half, but bigger than a 10th. Okay, smaller than a half, but bigger than a 10th. So let's have a little look. Oh, somebody's been very busy. They said we can have 1/5 in there. They've been very logical. We can have 1/4. We can have 1/3. Oh, make sure we don't go down. We can have 1/6. Yeah, 1/6, 1/7, 1/8, 1/9. But when we get any more, we can't, because then it would be the same as 1/10, wouldn't it? So we can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different options. 7 different options. Could have started with thirds, couldn't we? Could have gone down. So yeah, but we've got them there: 5th, 4th, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. We've gone 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Just gone up from the half to be a bit more systematic. But any of those fractions are smaller than a half, but bigger than a 10th. Okay. So let's have a look at the other problem we've got on here to tease your brains. And this is my brain is hurting. Okay, give it a little rub and wake it up. We have got 3/8. 3/8. We have got 3/5. 3/5. And we have got 1/8 there. Which fraction is the largest of those? Which fraction is the largest, and how do you know which fraction is the largest and which fraction is the smallest? How do you know? How do you know? Think logically. So 3/5 is the largest. Come on, tell me, how do you know? Oh, somebody's been very clear in their thinking there. Very clear in their thinking. Well, let's just think logically first. Think what we know, okay? Let's put the eighths together. So 3/8 and 1/8. Now, let's just think about that cake. Do you want 3/8 of the cake or 1/8 of the cake? If it's a cake I'd like 3/8, please. So we know that 3/8 is bigger than 1/8. So now let's put 3/8 and 3/5 together. Okay. Which is the bigger fraction? There's the same number of pieces. So would you get more cake if you had 3/5 or more cake if you had 3/8? Okay, remember how fractions work. Okay, remember how fractions work. Fifths are going to be bigger slices than eighths, aren't they? Because the cake has been split into 5 pieces, whereas for eighths, the cake has been split into 8 pieces. So let's have a little look. We can do eighths. There's quarters and there's eighths. Okay. Fifths. Ooh, a little bit more tricky. Okay. We can see fifths are bigger than eighths. There's 3/8. Oh, 3/5 is over half. Look, there's the halfway mark. There's the halfway mark. 3/5 is over a half. 3/8 is under a half. Okay. Smaller numbers, bigger fractions. Exactly. So if we're going to order those 3 fractions, then 3/5 would be the biggest, then 3/8, then 1/8. That's how they go in descending order. In ascending order, 1/8, 3/8, 3/5. That's when they go biggest. That's when they go smallest. Ascending, descending. So the smallest is 1/8, the biggest is 3/5. 3/5 is the biggest, 1/8 is the smallest. Okay, so we can just think about that. Exactly. Bigger number, less cake. Bigger number, smaller fraction. Okay, well done. So we are going to look at using the fraction number line a lot today. And we're going to start off waking our brains up. I'm going to do the quiz first so that you do that quiz and then we can work on anything that was a problemo. Not saying there will be any problems, but we can move on. So let's have a look at our quiz. Are we all ready for a quiz? All ready, ready, ready. Let me get, no, we don't want to do quiz 2. We want to do quiz 1. So let's have a little look at doing some adding and taking away of fractions. Oh, thinking about equivalence, which is bigger, which is smaller. Okay, so let's have a little look. I put that fraction cake up, so you've got something to look at. Okay. So you just have a little look at those. Remember, if you need to scroll down. All right, Rexy, you move over there. You might have to move my picture over at the top just to get that thin grey line so you can scroll down. Okay, so the first one's asking you which fraction is smaller than a ninth. Okay, a little bit of general fractions revision here, just to wake you up. Just to wake you up, see how awake you are. Okay, how are we doing? About half of the questions answered. Some people have finished. Just give it a little bit more time. Okay. A little bit more time. Okay, going to give a few more seconds, 10 seconds maybe, and then we'll stop the quiz and we'll have a little look. Okay, let's just go through the questions and then I'll share your results, okay? So the first question asked you which fraction was smaller than 1/9. Smaller. So remember the denominator is going to be bigger because it means it's been divided into more pieces. So which of those is smaller? Now, would you rather have a 1/9 or a quarter of a cake? Or we'd rather have a quarter, wouldn't we, because it's bigger? Would you rather have a 1/12? No, that's been shared into 12 pieces. It's going to be smaller. And a half's going to be bigger, isn't it? So which fraction is smaller than 1/9? The answer is 1/12. Okay, so those of you who put 1/4, nobody else knows who you are, but 2 people put the answer was a quarter. Just have a think about a cake into 9 pieces and a cake into 4 pieces. Okay, the 9ths would be smaller than the quarters, wouldn't they? So a quarter is bigger than a 9th. So the 12th is the correct answer there, okay? The 12th is smaller. 1 take away 3/6. Well, how many 6 are there in a whole 1? 6 make the whole cake, don't they? So if you had a whole cake and you took 3/6 away, how many 6 would you have left? Well, you would have 3 of them, wouldn't you? I am going to show the answers. Don't you worry, I'm going to show the scores. And the last one, 9/12 take away. 9/12. Well, if you had 9/12 of the cake and you took all 9 of them away, you would have none left, would you? You would have none left. You would have none left. Okay, I'm sharing results now. Okay, so if you answered all of those questions and you got them all correct, you will have 100%. Okay, you will have 100%. So that's to get our brains warmed up, thinking about that. I keep showing these cakes because I know that lots of people do get confused about ordering fractions and the size of them. Just whatever way it helps you to think about it, whether you think about a cake, whether you think about chocolate bars, whether you think about sweeties, whether you think about money, whichever way it helps you, just think the more people you have to share amongst, the less of the whole everybody will get. So the bigger the number, the bigger the denominator, okay, the bigger the denominator, the smaller the pieces are because they have been shared into more. So this cake has been shared into 9 equal pieces. This cake has been shared into 6 equal pieces. This cake has been shared into 3 equal pieces. 3 as a number is smaller than 9, but when we are thinking about fractions, it is a bigger fraction. It is a bigger piece of the pie. Okay, so the numbers work differently when you are going for less than a whole, less than 1. So think about pieces of cake. Think about pieces of pie. Think about bars of chocolate. Think about money. Think about strawberries. Think about whatever you want. The more you have to share them out, the more people they share, the less everybody will get. So the bigger the denominator, the smaller that fraction is. The smaller that fraction is. A 9th is smaller than a 6th that my fingers have to open, which is smaller than a 3rd. My fingers have to open again. Okay, so really, really have to think carefully. Right, let's look at a fraction line. I'm going to drop you down now. Going to drop the screen down so we can have a little look at a fraction line. And again, just really help to think about ordering fractions. So let's have a look at this 6th number line. So we have from 0 to 1. That's what the number line is. It just goes from 0 to 1, the number 1. So on a 1 to 100 number line, every section is a whole 1. But this number line just deals from 0 to 1 because it is just showing the fractions of 1. And each of the divisions are 1/6. And I've coloured them in at the top so you can see, look, there's 1/6, there's 2/6, there's 3/6, there's 4/6, there's 5/6. And then we get to 1, which is 6/6. The whole thing. Okay. So if we had to order these fractions from smallest to biggest, what order would they go in? If we had to order them from smallest to biggest, which order would they go in? Which one would come first? Which is the smallest fraction? Which is the next size? And which is the biggest one? Now they've all got the same size denominator. Okay, can we put these fractions in order, please? Okay, so can we put these fractions in order? Okay, so I want the smallest one first, then the next one, then the next one. So you should have 3 answers all on the same line. Okay, all on the same line. Here they come, here they come, here they come. Well done. So 1/6 is the smallest, isn't it? There it is, it comes first. Then 3/6 is the next one. Then 4/6. So 1/6 is the smallest, then 3/6, then 4/6. Yeah, the best portion size. Look, you get that much. 1/6, you only get that much. 3/6, you get that much, which is the same as 1/2. But 4/6 is more than 1/2. Okay, so well done. Let's have a look at ordering on the 5th number line. So order these fractions for me, please. Order these fractions for me, please. In ascending order from smallest to biggest. So we've got a 5th fraction line. Starts at 0, ends at 1. So that's 5/5, isn't it? 1/5, 2/5, 3/5, 4/5, 5/5. So can we order these fractions for me, please, in order from the smallest to the largest? From the smallest to the largest. Answers are coming in. Well done. Excellent. Love the smiley faces. You know, I do like an emoji. Okay. So exactly, look, there's 1/5. We can see it on the number line. There it is, 1/5. Oh, next is going to be 2/5. And the biggest fraction is 4/5. The biggest fraction is 4/5. So they go in order of size, smallest to largest, ascend in order, 1/5, 2/5, 4/5. Okay, 1/5, 2/5, 4/5. Well done. What else have we got here? Oh, different number line now. We have got, what have we got here? 7ths and 9ths. 7ths and 9ths. Okay, so again, number line starting with 0, ending with 1. So these are fractions, and you can see 1/7 coloured in, 2/7, 3/7, 4/7, 5/7, 6/7, 7/7. So you can see the portions get bigger, the fractions get bigger. The same with the 9ths. 0, nothing. 1/9, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Everything coloured. 9/9. Yeah, that is a whole one. So let's have a look. Can you order these fractions for me? These are the 7ths. We're ordering some 7ths here. Okay, so there we go. 5/7, 3/7, and 1/7. Can you please order those for me? Can you order those for me? order them in ascending order, okay, from smallest to biggest. In ascending order from smallest to biggest. Yeah. Oh, yes, I know, Rexy. Telling them to use the number line to help. Yes, that's right, Rexy. Well done. You put your hand there pointing to the number line. So from smallest to biggest. Okay, answers are coming in now. Okay, so we put those numbers on the number line. We've got to do 1/7 is going to come first. The next one, yes, I can see you're pointing to it, is going to be 3/7. That's right. Where's the next one then, Rexy? Oh, 5/7. That's quite correct, yes. So from smallest to biggest, the fractions go 1/7, 3/7, 5/7. A little bit of chocolate, more chocolate, over half of the chocolate. Okay. The denominators are the same. It's still in seven equal pieces, but you get more of those pieces as the numerator increases in size. Okay. Denominator is the same. All are equal pieces, but you're just getting more of them. Okay. This time, can you put these fractions in descending order for me, please? I want the biggest one first. You can still use the number line to help you. Can you put them in descending order for me, please? So I want the biggest one to come first. I want the biggest one to come first. You've got 5/9, 1/9, 3/9. The biggest one first, please. The biggest one first. You can use the number line to help you to see the order they will come in when you're counting, and then you're going to have to reverse it to do the biggest one first. Yeah. So descend in order, please. Descend in order. Descend in order. We want these in. We want them in descend in order. Okay, descend in order. So if I said, oh, quick, choose the biggest piece of pie first, you'd say, oh, let's have 5/9. Then the next amount would be 3/9, and the least amount would be 1/9. So in descending order, 5/9, 3/9, 1/9. 5/9, 3/9, 1/9. Okay, so let's have a look. What else have I got here for us to do while we've got the number lines? I've got some addition and some subtraction for us to do using our number lines. Just move these ordering papers out of the way. Okay. So, well, let's have a look at using the 7th number line while we are here. Okay, let's cover up the 9th. So we can, yeah, Rexy, could you move your paw, please? Thank you very much. That's it. Okay, so there's our 7th number line. So using the 7th number line, please, can you solve this problem? Using the 7th number line, can you solve this problem? Using the 7th number line, can you solve that problem, please? So we've got 6/7, take away 3/7. Let's have a look. So let's find 6/7. Exactly the same as we would use a whole number line. There's 6/7 there. So we have to take 3 jumps back. Remember, we move on the first jump. 1, 2, 3. So 6/7 take away 3/7 leaves you with 3/7. So just like on a whole number line, we can use a fraction number line to help us. Okay, we can cope with having 2 number lines out. Let's have a look at this one. Use the number line that you think will help to solve this one. 2/9 plus 4/9. 2/9 plus 4/9. 2/9 plus 4/9. Okay, There's 2/9. That's where I'm starting with. I'm going to jump on 2. 1, 2, 4/9. You're getting really, really secure with these. Helps you when you have to do addition or subtraction of numbers with different denominators, because then you have to bring in some other maths. And if you're really secure of understanding what fractions are and what is a bigger fraction, what is a smaller fraction, it's going to really help you when you go on to do the other fraction work. Let's look at this one then. 1/7 and 6/7. 1/7 and 6/7. 1/7 and 6/7. Okay, 1/7 and 6/7. Well, actually, we know addition is commutative. It doesn't matter which order you do it in. So for me, I wouldn't be saying, oh, let's start on 1 and do 6 jumps. More chances of error. I would say, okay, let's start on 6. Oh, let's go up here. And add on 1. Oh, 7/7 or 7/7. But actually, that's a whole one, isn't it? You get to the end of the number line. 7/7 is a whole one, not all 7 coloured in. It's a whole one. So if you've got a cake and you've got 6/7 and you get one more, you're getting the whole cake. You're doing pretty well. You're getting the whole cake. Let's have a look at this one. What's this one? 6/7 take away 1/7. 6/7 take away 1/7. 6/7 take away 1/7. What's that one then? 6/7 take away 1/7. Okay, 6/7. Let's have a little look. There we are, 6/7. One jump back to 5/7. Okay, let's just make sure we're okay when we get to having to work with whole numbers. Okay, so 1 take away 3/7. What's that one then? There's the number line. Use the number line to help you. 1 take away 3/7. So you've got the whole cake, the whole chocolate bar. It's divided into 7ths, and you take away 3 of them. How many are you left with? Well, there's the whole one, isn't it, here at the end? Let's jump back 3. 1, 2, 3. Well, that would leave me, miss, with 4/7. Absolutely correct. 4/7. Okay, well, if you had the whole cake and you took away 2/9, how many 9ths would you be left with? If you had the whole cake and you took away 2/9, how many 9ths would you be left with? How many 9ths would you be left with? Well, let's just try again. There's the whole cake. 1/9, 2/9 leaves me with 7/9. Okay, and the last one, 2/9 and 7/9. What does that give you? 2/9 plus 7/9. What does that give you? 2/9 plus 7/9. What does that give you? Again, remember the commutative problem of addition. Start with a bigger number, just makes life easier. So there's 7/9. One jump, 2 jump. Well, it gets me to the end of the number line. Gets me to a whole one. Okay, without a number line to look at. Let's just see. Let's turn that over. Let's just do a few without a number line to look at. So let's do this one without a number line, and then we're going to do a quiz. Okay. I know the rain is actually stopped where I am now. Okay, what's the answer to this one? 5/8. Take one jump forwards, going to give you 6/8. Oh, that pen doesn't show very well on that paper, does it? Let's just choose a different color. Going to give you 6/8, and thank you very much. We do not need to leave that there. We can simplify. Look, both can be divided by 2. 2 goes into that 3 times, 2 goes into 8 4 times. We can simplify down to 3/4. Okay. Right, let's do this one. 5/12 and 3/12. What have we got? 5/12 and 3/12. Okay, think about simplifying the answer if it is possible. Ooh, you simplified that incorrectly. You divided 8 by 2 and got 4. You divided 12 by 2 and got 8. That's not quite correct. Good boy for trying to simplify. Just look at that again, please. 5 and 3 is 8. The denominators are the same. So it's 8/12. I can actually divide these both by 4. 8 divided by 4 is 2. 12 divided by 4 is 3. So a simplified version of that fraction is 2/3. So 8/12 can be simplified to 2/3. What's this one? 7/8 and 1/8. 7/8 and 1/8. 8/8, which is the same as, if you've got 8/8, you got the whole thing. And last one before we have a quiz, 5/8 and 7/8. 5/8 and 7/8. 5/8 and 7/8. Oh, sorry, 5/12 and 7/12. Oh, come on, Miss Nikki, concentrate. 5/12 and 7/12. Sorry, saying 8s and it's 12s. That was the last one we did. Okay, exactly. 5 and 7 is 12. Denominators are the same. If you've got 12, you've got the whole thing. You've got the whole thing. Okay, let's do the second quiz of the lesson and see if you can apply. Oh, we're going to stop that one. See if you can going to apply all that we have just gone through. 3 and 4, quiz 2. Off you go. Oh, we've just done that one. I'm going to close that. That's not very helpful. Excuse me. I'm going to open another one. And that did not get labeled correctly. Let's try this one. Okay. Just check in your equivalence. Those out of the way. Okay, how are we doing? Let's just go through these together. How many halves make a whole? Okay, we know 2 halves. Okay, still got some people making an error there. How many halves make a whole? Okay, read the question. 2 halves make a whole, not 4 halves, that's 4/4. Okay, which fraction is bigger than a half? Okay, 2/4 is not bigger than a half, it is the same as a half. So 3/4 is bigger than a half. Which fraction is the same as a half? 2/4. A quarter is not the same as a half. It is smaller. Okay. So just have a little think. Use those pictures to help you. Have a little look at how you did. If you're not getting full marks in these quizzes, please, please, please join the 10 o'clock lesson next week. Please, please, please. Nobody knows what year group you are. Please, please, please join the 10 o'clock lesson. This is a really good opportunity for you to go back and look at fractions and look at the learning and have a chance to really become secure. So please, 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 if you did not get 100%, please join the 10 o'clock lesson next week. Well done, everybody. So just a little bit of a brain teaser before you go. Let's see how awake you are feeling. I'm going to just move that cake out of the way. Let's drop you down here. See if you can have a go at this one. What is the value of each of those shapes? What is the value of each of those shapes? How much is the circle worth? How much is the square worth? And how much is the diamond worth? See if you can figure that out. See if you can figure that out. Have a little look at that one. See if you can figure it out. Tricky Bicky. Tricky Bicky. Okay, circle, we're saying 2/6. That's a really good starting point because you know double the circle is 4/6. Yep. So half of 4/6 must be 2/6. So knowing that the circle is 2/6, sorry, I'm going to remove that because the wrong sign is in that, sorry, and that's not going to be helpful. Let me just, I have put the wrong one in, which is not going to help you at all. Let me just replace this with one that will work. Sorry, I'm going to replace that with that one because that first one has got muddled up with another year group. Sorry about that. I hope your brain was really hurting then. Let's start this one. This one should work. Now, it could be a number of options here, so you need to look down here. Could be a number of options there, so you need to look down here to help you. Yeah, no, it's not minus numbers. I had the wrong one out there, sorry. So look down here because two fractions to make a half, there are quite a few different options. So then look down here to see what that might be. Okay. So they could be a quarter, yeah, and then look down there to help you. Okay, we've got lots of answers flooding in, lots of answers flooding in. Okay, so there are lots of options here, aren't there? You know, the obvious one is that that's going to be 1/4 plus 1/4. And then we come down here and we say, well, if that's 1/4, we've got to make it into eighths. So we know that 1/4 is the same as 2/8 because we know 2 is 1/4 of 8. So yes, it's equal to 1/4. But if we think about it as 2/8, it just makes the next bit a bit easier. So 2/8 and what makes 5/8? Well, 2/8 and 3/8 make 5/8. So if we know that is 3/8, what's the diamond? Exactly. 3/8 and 4/8 make 7/8. So the triangle is 2/8, but also 1/4 is correct. The circle is 3/8, and the diamond is 4/8. Okay, so well done. A little bit of a brain teaser, made harder by me putting out the wrong one at the beginning, which did not help. I'm sorry about that. So we'll do a little bit more problem solving next week as well. Remember what I said, if there is anything today that you are not feeling 10 out of 10 on, please jump on the 10 o'clock lesson on Tuesday of next week, back to normal time on Tuesday. Before I go, I have been talking all the time about us being busy on bringing out an app, and the app is now ready. The app is now ready. It's on Apple Store. It's available for iOS. It will be available for Android. I've got an Android phone. It's just not on the Google Store yet, but it's coming up very, very soon. It is called Cosmico. It is called Cosmico. And when you click on your phone, bright ideas. Cosmico app. Tap to start. I will put, let me have a look. We are in year 3 and year 4, so let's have a look. Year 4. It is available for year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5, year 6, 6 different levels. So when you join, you have to put your parents, carers' email in and your year group. My phone is shaking as that spaceship goes past. In you go. Oh, I'm going to stop it there. I am going to stop it there. I'm going to stop it there because I want you to download it yourself. It's absolutely free. Okay, it's absolutely free. And I'm going to show you something. I'm going to ask you next week to tell me why I have shown you this. Tell me why I have shown you this. What is the relevance of this lovely, lovely purple dragon to the app? You have a look, download it. If you like it, is it a user? Maybe so. You have to have a look. If you like it, if you want to video yourself playing it or sending us a message of what you liked about it, you have to ask your parents and grown-ups permission. Do not say your name on the video. If you want to say something good about the app, show us yourself playing it and send us some footage. That's fine, but you have to ask your parents and carers permission and do not say your name on it, please. Fantastic. Have a look at the app. Tell me why I've shown you this purple dragon. And I will look forward to seeing you next Tuesday. Hopefully you've all played the app by then. Take care. Keep safe and dry. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.